America is racist. Listen carefully to what I said. America is racist. Let's just start talking about something. Here it is. Fuck. Okay. Shit. I could do it.
You're doing great.
I could do it.
It's a good start.
It's just tricky because this will be a heavy episode. Last episode was a heavy episode. It's also going to be one of the most impactful, important, impulsive episodes we've ever had. So I implore you to listen very closely to what we say. More so, I implore you to take action. Or if something we say during this podcast inspires you, motivates you to do something to progress humanity, please do so. I had an epiphany this weekend. I go, yo, I got money. That's cool. I got followers. That's cool. But what the fuck have I done to attempt to activate my audience, the people who follow me, the people who listen to me? Like, I'm an influencer. What's my real influence been? And this weekend I had a very visceral pull towards getting involved in all this. And so I wrote a monologue here, which I'm going to say later in the show, and Mike came prepared with some stuff. But I want to talk about what's been going on this past weekend because, by the way, welcome back to Impulsive, the number one
welcome
podcast
back
in the world.
And just as my preface to, like, we're known as a group of guys that like to jump around and have fun, skip topic to topic. I am not an expert or orator, no matter how hard I try to be, and I'm not a subject matter expert at the greatest level. I like to believe that I have wisdom and knowledge of that a 35-year-old would have after seeing years and years of things that life shows you. And I'm going to do my absolute best, and I know Logan is going to do, and Mac is going to do their absolute best today to keep this on topic and to keep driving the actual points home. So I guess my ask to you is just a little bit of patience for us today as we slalom through these incredibly difficult and complex topics.
That's a great ask. And if we're doing asks, I'm also going to say this. I ask you to actively listen. I already said it, but I really want to implore you to really listen. Like listen to the point where you're taking notes type shit. If you hear something again that you like or can relate to or feel like you can get behind. Okay, so last podcast, and if you are subscribed to the vlog channel, you know this. We decided to take the weekend off. Was feeling burnt out. I was hitting about a 5 to 6 month run of 6 videos a week. The shit gets draining. YouTube is, it doesn't feel like a job to me, but it is a job. It is a business. And I was getting extremely burnt out. We decided to take the weekend off. And over the weekend, we had protests, which led to riots, which led to looting. You've all seen it on Twitter. We had a little thing with my brother who was involved, and it was very close to home, not only because my brother was involved, because it was in LA. And so you went to Laguna Beach.
We were traveling.
I went to Newport Beach.
Yep.
You went to the ranch. David went to
Laguna Beach as well.
Look, the house took off. It was our break weekend, and it was all overshadowed, and none of us could stop thinking about the injustices that are currently taking place in America. We all cut our trip short, came back here, rendezvoused, and had a rally plan as far as how we can get involved for positive change. And we've been watching every bit of content that's come out. We've been reading every single article, every single post, trying to educate ourselves, me especially, because I've been not silent, but I've not used my influence the way I believe I should. And again, I'll get into the little thing I prepared later. But I think we should just dive in and giving some context of the complexity, like Mike said, of this situation. Because at this point, it is so complex and so dynamic. There are so many moving parts and pieces to this puzzle because there are so many different agendas that XYZ Groups has as a catalyst of the George Floyd murder.
And that complexity is imperative to address, because much of the misinformation that you are getting from the press coverage of what's happening is a dumbing down of the story that leads to a disservice to the end user. This is a complex issue. People that try to dumb it down are pandering dividing and activating their base only. And this, I think this is a good time to lead into the first monologue that I wrote, which is about misinformation. There are two very different things at play here. One is what's happening, and one is what's being reported and talked about. Those on the streets are seeing one story. Those at home on Twitter and watching the news are seeing a very different one. I tweeted the other day, misinformation is one of the biggest instigators of evil right now. I've watched over the past couple days as big-time pundits on both the left and right push one side of the story to promote their political or ideological goals. Without saying any names, certain people on the right place all blame on Antifa thugs, which we'll get into, while steering clear of violent cops, white supremacists, and most importantly, how to solve the problem that started these riots in the first place. Certain people on the left place all the blame on violent police without calling out opportunistic looters and anarchists. Let me help you all out. Actors who turn these protests violent, no matter what hate group they align with, are to blame. Cops who use brutal forces against peaceful protesters are to blame. The cops that then protect those cops are to blame. Opportunistic looters, both black and white, who steal from family-owned businesses are to blame. Pundits on the left and right who tell one-sided stories that pander to their base and drive further division are to blame. The president who threatens military fucking action against U.S. citizens instead of offering words of calm, peace, and systemic change during painful times is to blame. With a million micro issues in play, the biggest problem this country faces right now is accountability. Everyone is so busy pointing their fingers at someone else that they have forgotten to fix the real issue, themselves. And like we already discussed at the beginning of this episode, there's a million issues at play here. But you have seen people on the left and right take opportunity after opportunity to turn this into a one-sided story to further their own goals.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I watched this documentary called The 13th last night, and actually in this thing I prepared later, I took some of the facts I learned out of the beginning from that, and it's fascinating to me how much people in general, specifically in this movie, politicians will bend their moral code to get fucking elected, to get a vote, and people are no different. Like, I hate to say this, but I've had this extremely uncomfortable feeling in people this past weekend. I've started to stop believing in humanity because people are so greedy and exercising the worst sides of themselves because they can take advantage of peaceful protests and start looting and rioting, and none of it is right. And I can't believe how many people I mean, what are some of the groups that you see at these protests? Like, I want you to elaborate like some of the groups and their agendas when it comes to taking advantage of what's happening in the country right now.
So at the protests, which have turned into riots, or some people call them separate from riots, there are multitudes of groups, and each one of them is to blame for the good and bad that happens. You've got peaceful, good police officers out there understanding that the country is in pain, standing their ground to protect places, but not pepper spraying citizens at will through the windows of their car, not driving their police cars through barricades where people are standing, not attacking 90-year-old people that are standing at the bus stop. I saw a cop push a 90-year-old with a cane on the ground. There are good cops out there who are standing with the protesters, walking with the protesters. So you've got them. You've got the good cops. Then you've got the bad cops, the racist cops, the authoritarian cops, the police state cops, the brutal police that are the same as the one that started this in the first place. So you've got good and bad cops. You've got peaceful protesters. You've got that are the real winners here. The people marching, the people pushing for systemic change, holding signs, activating the base, talking about what they can do to fix the problem, but still calling for peace. And then you've got hate groups. You've got Antifa. I'm not claiming that they don't exist. I'm not claiming that the anti-fascist group as it exists in America right now is not out there causing problems. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that there's white supremacists out there on the other side. There's Proud Boys. There are multiple groups of people who stand to further divide this country and to drive the dialogue of hate. My issue on Twitter and my issue for the past week has been that our president and other people like him on the other side. Sorry, we got some sound.
What is it?
Is it coming through?
Is that a jet?
Can someone check on it? Maybe Eve or David?
Bro, I thought that was a jet. I thought
like
the National Guard was coming in for sure. I thought that was it for all of us.
I saw some.
Bro, well, I mean, we've been seeing the helicopters. I've been seeing helicopters do like barrel rolls in the sky.
What?
No, I'm exaggerating, but they're taking curves and turns sharper than
Do we
I've
want?
ever seen.
Are we cutting all this out?
No.
Oh, we're gonna keep it. Okay. You've had people on both sides, hate groups on both sides, pushing their own personal agendas forward. And you've had pundits on both sides calling out one group or the other. They're all to blame. All of these people are doing a disservice.
You forgot to mention the
And
opportunistic
I'm
rioters.
getting there. I'm getting there. And then you've got opportunistic rioters and anarchists. I have, since the beginning of this, stood up and been unable to condemn people who have torched symbols of systemic hate. People went and burned down the Sisters of Confederacy building. I applaud you. I applaud you for pulling down the statues of the Confederates who drove division in this country. Yeah. I applaud you. Yeah. Even as far, and this is where it gets close, as the courthouses that have served the Black community unjustly for decades, that have passed sentences down that were unfair and not justified by law in this country. But when you start burning and looting family-owned grocery stores, personal-owned businesses that people, even Black people and Hispanics in LA, have worked their entire lives to get to a point where they can own a business, and you break the windows and you steal stuff out of it. That is where someone like me, who vastly understands the cause you are after and fights alongside you, that is where I draw the line. When you start to violently attack people, both Black and white and Asian and Hispanic, that defend their possessions that they have worked their lives for, that is where I draw the line.
So that's where I'm like, I feel like
I think
people taking advantage of the peaceful protests and of the riots, shame on you. That's where I get disappointed in humans. It's a few people who are taking advantage of peaceful protests, and now everyone's paying because of it. It's like, as if this thing isn't muddy enough. You're just stirring the pot more, and it's so unnecessary. It's these anarchists who have these wet dreams about the collapse of society and are finally getting to take advantage of it.
Yep.
Shame on you. And this might be a good segue to talk about Jake, because as we know, he was seen at a looting site. Apparently, he was in Arizona, and to be honest, this one is so fucking hard for me, because I love the kid, I love him, I will always love him, but I don't always like him. He's my brother, he's my family, he's my blood. Sometimes I do not understand why he does the things he does, as I'm sure he feels the same way about me from time to time. Why he was inside of a mall that was being looted, I have no idea.
Have you talked to him yet?
I talked to him on the phone. He was at a dinner that was next to the mall, and although it's very unfortunate, it's also very on brand for Jake Paul to magically be seen at a looting site. Here's what I will say, and I feel like this goes without saying. While I condemn the fact that he was at a looting site and stuck around long enough for videos to be taken where it looked like he was kind of just hanging out, you are a fucking moron if you think my brother was actively participating in looting. He was not actively participating in looting. And again, I'll say this. I do not agree with him being there. I don't know why the fuck he was there.
I had a conversation with GP about this. who talked to Jake about it.
He doesn't know either.
From what I heard from GP, said that Jake walked into the restaurant, and then it was a completely different climate when he walked in, and then as soon as he's walking out, the storm had totally shifted, and there were people attacking.
I don't agree with that. What I'll say is this.
Wait, this shit happens fast.
Of course it does. But let me ask you a question. If there was just a relaxed mall, nobody there, just relaxed mall, do you think Jake would have gone with his camera crew? Well, what would there have been to do there? Why would he go?
They were in Arizona and they don't know the place, and they were
so they just ended up at. What do you mean? Where were they at dinner?
I don't know. They're at like a nice restaurant apparently.
Okay,
and
here's close to a mall.
I
happened to be in the wrong place, and then all of a sudden the tides changed, and the people started to loot the mall, which is very close by. And if you're in a place,
here's the problem.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
He did not leave. You have to know if your last name is Paul, and if even if your last name isn't Paul, and there's looting and rioting and violence and crimes taking place, remove yourself from the situation.
But how many times has Jake stepped up to help?
No, hold on. Wait, back. Let's back up for a second.
Yeah,
like with the hurricanes and fires and
good deeds
Jake
don't
happens to be in the place, so
good deeds do not listen. I'm not even saying that he did anything wrong. I'm not saying he was looting. I highly doubt he was looting. The only thing
he wasn't
looting. He wasn't looting. What I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. The trending topics every day over the past week have continued to change. He was trending for a couple hours. Unfortunately, during a time where the topic of white actors, bad apples coming in and causing trouble during protests is the main stage story right now, when you have a video of a very privileged white person like the rest of us, but a rich white person and celebrity being in the midst of a riot, that story is going to catch fucking fire.
Yeah,
it's going to go absolutely crazy. And I want to say this. In the end, I would like Jake to figure all this shit out. Like, there's a lot of people out there who wish badly upon Jake. I don't want that.
He needs a active, present, and proactive you on his team, telling him that, yo, this is not, we cannot be here right now. People are taking videos.
Do you remember last night?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you want to explain it?
Sure. So, okay. Last night, there a CVS around the corner was getting looted. I go, okay, shit, it's a mile away from our house. What is the course of action here? Now this is quite literally too close to home. I feel threatened as a protector, as the leader of the house. It is partially my duty to make sure everyone's safe. I go, okay, let's hop in a car. Let's take a drive on the street, see how bad it is. And if it's really bad, we can activate appropriately. We can call our guys. We can see if we need to get security for the night, whatever it is. Mike comes down.
I hear commotion. I hear people starting to activate. Evan texts me and says, get down here right now. They're about to go. My brain says 8 p.m. curfew. Right now it's 10 p.m. or whatever time it was. Jake Paul seen just hours earlier at the scene of a crime and automatically was found guilty by the court of public opinion, whether or not he was doing anything wrong at all. And I went nuts. I activated and told everybody.
Mind you, precursor, no cameras, 2 guys in a car, no weapons. Just wanted to see.
Of course.
We're not vlogging. We're not doing anything. I felt unsafe crossing my fingers and hoping that the mob hadn't moved to Encino. And if we go there and the CVS is being burned, destroyed, looted, and everything, now I'm going to sleep with one eye open, or I might not sleep at all. I felt unsafe not doing that. But Mike made a good point. Yo, your brother just did this. It was seen at a looting site, not the fucking move.
Yeah.
And it's not. I said, you know what? You're fucking right. I'm not going.
Because
someone needs to go though. Because my intent, I still felt was right. Protecting the people that I love and the people that I have around me and making sure that we are not unsafe. But you're right. Because you know better. I do not have the leeway of being seen around a looting site, even in the slightest.
Well, it's also, you know, to harp back on the point that we hit earlier, it's also like if you're going to do scouting to protect your home, I can almost understand that. Luckily, we have people that we called upon that told us that the National Guard is en route, which they were. They've now established a presence here and all is well. I've completely gone blank on what I was going to say.
No, you're right. That was it. We called our guys,
right.
figured it out. National Guard's inbound. We're good.
Oh, sorry. Just to put an end tech in it. What I didn't want was for some reason you to feel the need to go document it. And I know you weren't going to do this, but I have to tell anybody out there who feels the need to document very violent places right now, outside of this group here.
Bro,
I assure you, it's already being documented. It's already being fucking documented. You're not raising awareness.
If there's one person you don't need to tell to not go out and attempt to document to raise awareness, it's me, dude. Vlog camera, put down. I haven't touched that shit in fucking 5 days. I don't give a fuck about my vlog channel right now. Not a single fuck. What I do care about is the betterment and progress of humanity and keeping the people around me safe.
Okay,
Those are two things that hit very close to home.
So you are feeling activated to do it that way. And to put something that Mike said into perspective, he came downstairs and there was commotion going on and he went nuts and he didn't know what to do. He just said that. So imagine you're in the place where all this stuff's going on. You have no clue what the fuck's going on, but you have all of a sudden an urge to start documenting, and you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you're someone at home and you're saying, holy shit, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to raise awareness. I don't know how to get involved.
That's the hardest part.
I want to do
That's
something.
the hardest part.
But the same way you're feeling activated is the same way someone else is feeling activated to go document and capture. It's possible.
I get it. Yeah,
it's
if you're
possible,
there,
but that's not what they
yeah,
want.
if you're there,
I'm
well,
just
hold on.
saying,
I mean, if you're there, what I'm
if
saying
you're
is
there,
like,
yes, but even if you're at home and you're saying, holy shit, there's stuff going on right now.
no,
I
but
need to get out there
but
and get
my
it.
advice, and I hear what you're saying, that people feel that way, and my advice is to not do it. Don't go.
Sure.
Simply put,
Don't
don't
get
go.
involved in
Stay.
a ride. Don't get involved in a
don't go.
violent
I
thing.
assure you that the well-trained, well-armed press that have credentials, helmets, body armor are well enough capable of documenting that we don't need to send Logan Paul, who, by the way, has an 0-1 boxing record.
It's not like I'm defending myself. It's not like I'm gonna be able to hold off the looters.
Are we?
No way. I can't even throw my right hand. I got a jab.
That's about it.
Are we
That's
off
it.
base? Are we way off?
We're not, because
Okay.
I'll tell you why. This is a show, and it is a show. All right, we sort of are, but
I think it's important to show right now that the people do have power. A lot of people are banding together, and there are a lot of peaceful people doing peaceful things and raising their arms together to show that, you know, we can work together to make something happen. However, the violence that's happening is completely destroying the message of what was initially the problem.
Absolutely. And I have a very short monologue to go along with that. Not a monologue, just a write-up. Protests huge. Devolving into riots, horrible. Like everything that's been happening, I hate. But also, and I want to make sure this is said, I understand. I understand the anger of the Black community. I understand we have been doing this for decades. The marches have not worked. The sit-ins have not worked. The legislation has failed us. The police department has failed us. The government, the people, everyone has failed us. We know not what to do in this circumstance besides burn, riot, and go crazy. I understand that. But this is the time right now for the Black community to gather their voices and activate a smart and winning approach to the problem.
I want to amend that.
Go ahead.
It's not just the Black community. This is
everyone, and we're with you.
Of every single
we
person.
are with you. We are with you. We are marching alongside you. Obama had a very, very well-written and telling piece today that he shared on social that basically said there are two parts of reform to the current police state in America, or the current state of police. This is not a quote, but this is what I took from it. One is the mobilization of protests to raise awareness, and the other is voting and legislative reform to create systemic change. To those on the streets right now gearing up for round 12, the mobilization has occurred. The awareness has happened. Everyone fucking knows. Everyone gets it. The entire world is standing in solidarity with you with their fists in the air saying enough is enough. What happened to George Floyd, what happened to Trayvon Martin, what happened all the way back to Rodney King is not okay. Let's work together to make a change. Your voice has been heard. But the National Guard is inbound. They are coming to your cities armed with M16s, body armor, tanks, armored personnel carriers, and because of the current administration, as far as the discussion of airborne infantry. to the makeshift rioters and people on the streets right now, and even the peaceful protesters, that battle of might is one you will not win. I can sit here sure as shit and say that to you today. The opportunity that exists right now is for you to join your voices and to create a strategic strategy to vote and reform police state in America through local and state elections. Those are the people that choose your police chiefs, that make your laws for the police in this country. We're going to stand right next to you. We're going to stand right next to you. But from a mobilization standpoint and a protesting standpoint, we have reached the end here. I truly believe, and now moving forward, it is violence and people getting hurt.
The only reason why I'm not fully going against you is because we plan on going to multiple protests today, and because of the National Guard, I believe they were all shut down, or either the people were deterred. They are taking violent action. They are bullying protesters. I have a picture here. I'm sure you guys have seen it. These are the rubber bullets that the National Guard are actively shooting at people. Some of our friends have gotten shot with these. These are responsible for people losing their eyes. People are getting very severely injured because of this shit. And what Mike's saying, I think helped me understand this is now it's time to go from the violence and the true like physical action to the action of voting and creating change for politicians,
and keeping the conversation
and policymakers. Well, that's the real takeaway. We can make as much noise as we want right now, but if all of this momentum is lost at the voting booth, we have fucking lost.
Yep.
I have a hot take. I have done so much to educate myself over the past week because I've typically stayed out of politics, and I'll get into this. And this is all coming from things I've learned, personal experiences, and finally I feel at a good spot in my life where I can speak up and speak with my chest out, my chin up. America is racist. Listen carefully to what I said. America is racist. I did not say Americans, although there is definitely an embarrassingly large amount of Americans with the archaic belief that superiority is based on skin color. However, I'm talking about America as a nation. We are all incredibly unaware of how deeply intertwined the ugly roots of racism have embedded themselves in the foundation of this country. Every influencer, every celebrity you follow, you've seen them use the term systemic or systematic racism in their posts, but I'm going to explain to you exactly what that means. 13th Amendment, 1864, slavery is abolished. Problem solved, right? Not quite. There is a criminality clause conveniently nestled in that amendment that says, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So you're free, unless you're a criminal. Best way to keep blacks as slaves legally is criminalize them. Keep them in prison, take their freedom. It's a term that's been coined mass incarceration, and it's evident in the statistics. America itself is responsible for 21% of the world's entire prison population, of which 1/3 are African Americans. Additionally, 1 in 3 black men have the chance of going to jail in their life, and that number is 1 in 17 for white men. Blacks are incarcerated at more than 5 times the rate of whites. This is me citing the NAACP. That is not good enough for America, though. So what's another way to ensure inequality legally? Segregation. Jim Crow laws, which enforced racial segregation through the mid-1960s. Bro, the mid-1960s. That is my parents' generation. That is how close we still are to all of this fuckery. And not to mention the prominent yet not so blaring nuanced nature of elected officials to keep the marginalized oppressed, from Nixon to Reagan to Clinton to Bush. Whether you are aware of it or not, it's evident in the media, propaganda, our education system, literally everything. The historical narrative of the black man, or virtually any non-white group, but profoundly African Americans, has not been one of equality or fairness. For the longest time, I was afraid to speak up because I thought I'd piss people off, because I'm politically ignorant, and even because of my polarizing nature. I have made reprehensible mistakes in the past. So who the fuck am I to suggest a way to better and progress humanity? That was what I thought. This past weekend, I found the answer to that question. Who the fuck am I to better and progress humanity? I am a human. I'm just like you. I'm just like you. And I'm just like you. I am a human who's made mistakes. I've learned from them and I've worked hard to educate myself and create a better future for me, my friends, my future children, and the world around me. It's 2020, and I'm sure I'll make more mistakes in my life, but one mistake that I refuse to be a part of is the mistake of silence. I will not be a part of a generation that is written on the wrong side of history, and I will not stand by as my fellow humans are brutally and unjustifiably murdered at the hand of the state or any oppressor. Listen closely. One of my biggest learnings from all of this, and I'm embarrassed that it's taken me 25 years to realize this. It is not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist.
Yes.
Condemn those who feign superiority because of the color of their skin. Friends, hold friends accountable. Hold your family accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And most importantly, we must hold our authorities accountable. Police officers, politicians, policymakers. As Killer Mike said, bully the politicians at the voting booth. Make your voice heard. Attend a protest. Speak up against injustice. If you're white, if you look like me, use your privilege. And for those who do not think white privilege exists, you are fucking blind. You are delusional and you are part of the problem. I can count on 0 hands the amount of times that I have feared for my life at a routine traffic stop. That has never happened. Half of the reason I'm able to get away with some of my hooligan shit I do in my vlogs is because I'm a white kid. I'm confident that I do not have to fear for my life should the cops show up. Acknowledge and weaponize your privilege. I believe we're going to a protest today. You can bet your fucking ass I'll be in the front line. Knowing all this about America, its racially charged background, its inability to truly treat humans as equals, even after 244 years since its inception, we must now work towards finding the solution. And if you are an influencer or celebrity friend of mine, I hope you are using your platform to continue to spread the message of solidarity and unity. I do not have all the answers, but I know we must now reverse engineer the system as a collective. We must open our eyes and realize that there is only one race, and that is the human race. On behalf of Breonna Taylor, we must change. On behalf of Ahmaud Arbery, we must advance. And on behalf of George Floyd and the hundreds of others who have been unjustly murdered in this country, we must evolve. I'm shaking.
Powerful words, my friend. That's yeah, it's a hot take, but I couldn't agree with you more. I really think you kind of hit the nail on the head as far as the advancement that we all need to see. If you see a problem, let's find solutions. Capitol Hill ain't nothing but a molehill. We can climb it.
Bro, I've like hinted at this on this show. Humanity is so far behind. We are so fucking far behind. Starting with how we treat people. The last sentence I said, there's only one race and it's the human race. If you're on this planet, the species, humanity, that is us. We must function as a collective. We aren't doing the best job we can as humans when we are divided and polarized, and it's not easy. This is the most complex, important issue that our generation faces, and the solve is not easy. But you know what else isn't easy? Being a black man in today's society, being African American in today's society. Mm-hmm. And I shun the person who turns a blind eye and pretends like nothing's happening. This is our mission. Our generation's legacy will be that of equality. And as much as I can, I want to be a part of that. I want to be an ally. Like, activate me. Use me. Let me speak on behalf of those who can't or feel like they don't have a voice. Mm-hmm. Or those who have a fucking cop's knee in your neck for 8 minutes while you say you can't breathe and plead for your mom.
As a knee-jerk reaction, is there any sort of organization or thing that you'd like to put together so people can amplify their voices through you?
I'm not sure I have that answer.
There's
right now.
I was gonna. Listen. There's a million great organizations that exist currently. What you just gave was a beautiful monologue that will continue to mobilize and raise awareness. And everything you said was absolutely right. We should be calling out hate. We should recognize the fact that we don't have to worry about ourselves when we get pulled over by cops. I could speak to that so much on today's show. I've been given probation periods where my brothers that are black have been given jail terms. Oh, many times. I'm extremely privileged. You have that monologue on this side. You have the burning and rioting on this side. And somewhere in the middle is the actual solution. What that community needs to do, and we need to watch and stand alongside and fight with you, is strategize a meaningful way to enact systemic change. Boycotting, defunding, voting.
Yeah.
Voting is number one. That is number one. I from Obama's piece today, I'll go back to it. The reform of police will happen via the hands of state and local administrators and politicians. The voter turnout, especially by young people, to these elections is disgusting. No one goes there.
I know.
No one pays attention to what the officials stand for. And me too. I'm guilty of this. When's the last time you voted in a local election? Do you know what I have no fucking clue. I am the most guilty of this. Everyone knows Trump's views to an extent. Everyone knows Biden's views to an extent. Those aren't the people that cause the real reform in your city. Those are the people that they are the state and local policymakers that will handle the reform. So get educated on your officials and join together for a plan of action. We will stand with you. We will support you. We will do it with you. We will enact the change with you. Let's come up with a plan instead of pandering and fighting and calling this person out and that person out. As I said earlier, everyone is to blame for not coming up with a solution. Everyone. And we need to work together to come up with actual actionable steps to solve this problem.
Bro, I'm telling you, because I was part of the problem. I don't think people think being not racist is enough.
Of course.
It just simply isn't. Like, we had a little tiff this morning where you...
Yeah, I told you that. I didn't think that, and I'm happy you brought this up, that racism was the direction that we should take the show on today. I told you, I said that I believed that racism as it pertains to police brutality and authoritarian state was the right approach. But now that I've heard your piece, which I hadn't heard prior, you hit a lot of really important topics that are drastically and vastly intertwined with the dialogue that is existing right now.
That was my issue with it.
Yeah.
Although racism is the macro issue, and it might be easier to tackle this micro one by one. For anyone listening to this, dude, if you're surrounded by racist whites in a southern state, that ain't the way. That ain't the way. And that was my attempt. I want to read this. I want to read this excerpt that actually Paolo posted on his Instagram. I love this. The problem is that white people see racism as conscious hate, when racism is bigger than that. Racism is a complex system of social and political levers and pulleys set up generations ago. It's what I said in my speech, to continue working on the behalf of whites at other people's expense, whether whites know it or not. Racism is an insidious cultural disease. It's so insidious that it doesn't care if you are a white person who likes black people. It's still going to find a way to infect how you deal with people who don't look like you. Yes, racism looks like hate, but hate is just one manifestation. Privilege is another. Access is another. Ignorance is another. Apathy is another, and so on. So while I agree with people who say no one is born racist, it remains a powerful system that we're immediately born into. It's like being born into air. You take it in as soon as you breathe. It's not a cold that you can get over. There's no anti-racist certification class. It's a set of socioeconomic traps and cultural values that are fired up every time we interact with the world. It is a thing you have to keep scooping out of the boat of your life to keep from drowning in it. I know it's hard work, but it's the price you pay for owning everything. Scott Woods.
Incredible. the issue, the biggest issue we face right now, the biggest issue is not racism. It is the ideology that racism doesn't fucking exist in this country. There is a vast group of people. So Scott Woods, the man who made that quote, probably has 2,000 followers. If you collect the audience size of people who would like to tell you that racism no longer exists in this country, I assure you it is in the hundreds of millions. And every day people in this country are force-fed the idea that racism no longer exists.
Because bro, that's what I'm telling you. Inherently in our country, we are told that people are created equal. If you're born in America, that's what you were told your whole life. Then when you start to become an adult, you open your eyes and you realize that's not the case. The foundation of this country was built on a lie.
This is a hot take, but we are created equal, born innocent as people.
All men are created equal. Yeah.
Created, but built and bred differently.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's not a hot take. It's facts. Technically, all men are created equal. Humans are created equal.
We start as humans, and then
but like this said, you're not born into racism. But the moment you're born, it's like breathing in air.
And it's hard to overcome
in today's society. You cannot ignore that. It's just the reality of the situation. It affects everything that you do.
When you're in an environment, it absolutely will shape the person you become. And if you grow up with a set of values that is 1,000,000% less than desirable, it can be hard to get rid of those. But that's why I feel like this entire conversation is about people dredging up what's inside of them and figuring out, holy shit, yes, I'm not racist, but I should be vehemently anti-racist. I should continue to speak about this.
You're 100% right. And and you know, back to the point I just made, we'll have this conversation and it will be vehemently and hatefully rejected and disagreed with by another side of the conversation.
Bro,
and so let me
wait for the white people who tell me white privilege doesn't exist.
It's gonna be all over this fucking video.
Morons.
Listen to me. People out there are mistaken. I assure you, we are more divided today than we have been in decades.
Ever.
Not quite ever, but close.
It's like the Civil War.
But no, maybe close to that. We are close. People on the right, the same people that will say that there's no white privilege, will say that it was worse under Obama. I do not recall a time when National Guard was rolling through all of our cities.
Before coronavirus tests!
I do not recall a time when the President of the United States was retweeting tweets threatening to use airborne infantry against U.S. fucking citizens. Where's the fucking disconnect? Where's the disconnect? How is that fucking possible that you could be that fucking stupid? What happened? What happened? We are a fucking mess right now because of what is happening at the top. The dialogue is disgusting. Not one tweet in the past 4 days offering relief, solace, calmness.
I cannot believe that.
I will meet with you on the streets. I am the president of this country. I will meet with you. I hear you. I feel your pain. None of it.
Nah, bro.
Not one fucking tweet. Just if you come near my house, I'm sending the dogs out. Looters are when the looting starts, the shooting starts. You should be fucking ashamed. Ashamed.
All right, calm down. You good. He's right.
That's disgusting,
He's
dude.
right. He's right. It's fucked up. Bro, you know me, yeah? You watch this show, you watch my vlogs. I said it in my thing. I've tended to stay away from politics. Mm-hmm. This is appalling. And I am appalled. Okay? Mm. I cannot believe there has not been 1 ounce of real leadership. Bro, we are in a chaotic frenzy right now, running around like chickens with our fucking heads cut off because no one has any direction. We've not been given any advice on what to do. It got heated for a second. I want to have some fun.
I just want to touch on this last thing. 8 hours ago, Sleepy Joe Biden's people are so radical left that they're working to get the anarchists out of jail and probably more. Big tax increases for all. Like, what do you?
I just no stop. Before let me handle this. All right. Let me handle this.
The lamestream media, fake news.
Listen. All I want from our president, and
say
and
something.
God strike me down if this is too much to ask for. I want resolution and not conflict. Why does every tweet have to be a
divisive,
finger pointing at someone?
Yes.
I want a resolution. I want to know what to do. Because I do not right now, nor does the rest of America. That's all I want. And that should not be too much to ask for as a Republican or a Democrat. Please just give us something to latch onto, a sliver of hope.
Something. Not even a resolution. I don't want a resolution.
I
would love a resolution. I'm not requiring a resolution from the president or from the people on his level. What I'm requiring is words of hope and wisdom. This will get better, my people. Stay aligned. Do not fight each other. Strategize. We'll get through this. Have we lost sight of how powerful the words of a president can be to save this country during times of peril?
No. We haven't because of Obama's thing today. I think maybe.
But and I love that piece. But for decades, people that were hurting, people that were sad, people that were pained, that were giving up, turned on the television and they watched a president who unified the country, who said, I have a solution and these are the steps I'm taking to enact it. And now all we see is hatred. All we see is division and speech of war on U.S. citizens. I'm sorry.
Mike,
I am very, very, very upset about this.
If you're looking for answers, if you guys are looking for answers,
you have them.
And you're looking to a man who you've lost trust in as the president of the United States, and you want the president to say something, but he's not able to provide the answers that you seek. Is there somewhere along history or someone somewhere that is providing answers? We've seen racism. I just had a conversation with my grandmother about the 1960s race riots, and coincidentally, a launch of a rocket into space that happened to coincide in similar times, and I guess unrelated. But that being said, this cycle has happened before. No, we have not learned anything yet, but yet a man has had his life taken. We've seen this before. Martin Luther King Jr., absolute martyr for what his cause was. And that was to bring peace to equality to the people.
The worst part, he didn't want to be a martyr. That wasn't his mission.
It wasn't his choice. You don't get to choose.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he made statements. I am not a martyr. I do not want to be a martyr. I want to live a long life, longevity.
So they can continue to do it. But then his message was cut short by the people who felt they were in power.
As hundreds of other Black Americans have before they got a chance to speak.
Absolutely. How many more lives does it take? We don't need any more.
We don't need any more. We don't need any more.
We don't want any more. All we want is equality. But yet you're looking for answers from a person who is not able to provide them. We should look to other places for answers.
I don't want answers. I don't want answers from the president. I just want him to tell us that it's going to be okay, and to tell us that he's working.
That'd be a nice start.
Like a start. Like just not.
You don't run a marathon if you've never trained, right? But if you've ran a mile, which is all we're asking Donald Trump to do, is say, "Hey, people, my people, fellow Americans, we're going to get out of this. Here's what you can do. Hold your loved ones.
Absolutely. Set a good example.
Keep protesting peacefully to spread a message that you believe, whatever it is.
We're working on a solution. We're working on a solution. I know. I'm saying one more thing about it. I don't want. People are going to watch this. They're going to be like the flaming liberal Mike or the flaming liberal impulsive cast. We're not even fucking liberals. I'm not even a Democrat. I'm not even a Democrat. I'm a common sense U.S. citizen who wants the president to tell us that it's going to be okay and to come up with a plan to make it that way. That's all I am. That's all I am. And if that's and in this year and in this current situation, that has become too much to ask, and that is what bothers me. Moving on. Go.
This tweet had me dead. Dead ass. Fuck all these internet bitches for real. 327,000 likes, 78,000 retweets. Someone posted this from this girl's close friend story. This is an Instagram model and influencer, bruh. She goes, "Thank you. Should we go protest?" The other one said, "I'm low-key down." "Me too. Let's get drunk and go. Is that like so dangerous?" Crying emoji. "Oh my gosh, I'm so down. Let me find a riot outfit."
Is that real?
Yeah.
Wait, is that real?
This is how I know it's real. It's a swipe. Look at the next photo. They're at the riots. Tamela _K. Please do your part, but do it safely. Hashtag BLM. Go out there and do your part. Oh, wait.
No.
Can I? Wait.
Yo, what the fuck? You got exposed.
Hold on, can I?
Because
What
she
about
posted
the-
this on her close friend story, and somehow it made it out there. But this is like, yo, these protests are not for you to pick a riot outfit and make the prettiest sign you can and go get your Instagram picture.
This one's tough.
And then act like you care. This fuck 12?
1, 2.
Bitch, you are fucking wasted. Cute outfit though, shit.
I was gonna jump in. I was gonna jump.
I fuck these people.
I was gonna jump in to say, because a lot of times I like to think that even the most imperfect protester who's raising their voice has a meaning and a place. But honestly, I don't think these two have a place. I'm sorry. This is really like, just go home. There's rosé at the house. There's rosé at the house, guys. I think you guys have a hot tub. I'm pretty sure. Don't fucking go.
So I went to go on their Instagram to see what the hubbub was like. Deactivated.
Oh,
One was
They
on
got
private, one was deactivated.
They got fucked up.
And smart too, because no one's gonna remember these girls in a year or remember that any of this happened. So like sharp on them, but just monitor your intentions. I follow this account on Instagram, influencers in the wild. Them along with many other like reposting, sharing content accounts are posting pictures of like someone posing in front of a building, a looted building. With like a head cock and like looking all introspective, caption
How
like,
did this happen?
What has America come to? And it's part of the reason why when we go to the protest today, I bring no vlog camera. If David happens to take a picture on his film camera or an iPhone and I'm in it, maybe I'll post it just because I want to spread awareness rather than maybe I like leading by example, but not so much where I'm going to go under the premise that I'm documenting. There's no vlog camera. I'm not doing this for the vlog. I'm doing this because it's a cause I believe in.
But is it wrong to bring the vlog camera? That's what I'm wondering.
So
I don't
under
know
the
if it
veil
is.
of me, my last name being Paul, and this is where Jake fucked up too. Yes, it is.
I mean, you
It
have a
is
stigma
not-
against your name. I understand that, but is it wrong to bring the vlog camera and show a part of history that's happening for a positive reason?
If you are doing it strictly for views, absolutely. If you monetize your video, absolutely. The only way I'll like give a pass is if there is like an extremely objective, non-comical, mission-based video that comes out of this.
Absolutely.
Could
you could do that.
I make one of that? Sure. Would it be not even sure? I'd fucking destroy it. What?
No, I didn't know. where you're
Could I
going.
get away with it? Absolutely not. I'm one of the people, bro. I open my mouth. Yo, you're a rich, privileged white kid who has no idea what it's like.
I think
to be-
that's changing.
I
I
don't
think it's
so. I don't
changing
think
because
so.
of the base of this show,
Did you
dude.
see? So on this show, sure.
No,
If you
no,
listen
but
to
I
this
think-
show, sure. That's why I've been like semi-silent on social media until this episode, so I could properly articulate and you could see and feel me and hear my voice when I'm speaking. Because, bro, on via media, a picture from Logan Paul, a tweet from Logan Paul does not translate the way that it's intended to.
Right. Yeah, I guess
So that's why I wanted to come on here and say this, and I'm going to post this, and like that is me attempting to do my part because that's all I can do. That's all I can do.
Do you have? I have a question for you. And so like this is all interesting to me. Like I obviously get a ton more. I live in this space. I pay attention to this space even when the riots aren't happening. Every shoot, you know this about me. Every fucking shooting, every slip up, everything that happens when it comes to police or politics and how things are going in this country, I try to pay attention to. I think as a 35-year-old, I have to live for this stuff. My question to you is this. What do you find stranger? Those two girls who picked their ride outfits or this one, I hate to laugh at it, but the influencers who have gone on in the most business as usual way without mentioning one single thing about any of this. Like, bro, I've been watching videos. I hate calling him out, but Lance 210 posted a tweet yesterday. It was like, my new rabbit prank. And I was just like,
yo, shut the fuck
wait,
up.
hold on. I'm sorry, Lance. I love you. And I hate to use
Lance, you're a good kid.
I hate to use you as
Congratulations
an
on the
example.
marriage. We hate to use you
Facts,
as an example,
facts.
except like also, hello.
Look,
hello.
5 hours ago, Grandma smacked me with her cane at the end. Yesterday, 1 day ago, snake prank. 1 day ago, look at this one.
Yo, you got it. You got
Is
it.
it?
You got to cut the
Is
shit.
it a dead rabbit?
I'm having fun this weekend. This past weekend, I see all this shit unfolding. I'm no longer having fun. None of this
Me
is
neither.
fun to me.
Yeah.
This isn't. It's not fun to me. My life isn't fun. I have a new mission. How can I get involved? Fuck the vlogs. I said there's no vlogs this week. No vlogs this week. And if you're tuning in and you're not a regular on Impulsive for a channel who's primarily built on consistency, it's not necessarily safe for the business, but and I know it's a minor sacrifice, but like I cannot focus. I couldn't focus last night. I couldn't focus this morning. The only thing I care about is getting involved in this. And again, if you're an influencer, I implore you to do the same. Fuck business as usual. This ain't usual. I hate to.
Don't show it to me.
I'm showing that to you right now.
Okay. He's showing me a video of Jake on his Instagram feed doing a giveaway. And guess what? You're not going to believe this, but I'm going to defend Jake on it. And here's what I'll say. If you are doing your part as an influencer to make it well known that you stand united and you are pushing the messaging that needs to be pushed, we are doing 2-hour podcasts talking about racism as America, in America. We are posting across our Instagram stories. We are posting across our Twitter. We are going to protest. We're doing what needs to be done. I am not mad at Jake Paul for carrying through with the business that he signed to carry through with. I would not be mad at you for posting a vlog as long as it was tasteful and didn't distract from the point. I think people still need to be entertained. This is fucking stressful.
That's
This
why
is fucking stressful. I have a night shift vlog that I bagged up in the days prior to all of this really going crazy. It could have come out Sunday, today, whatever.
You know why I don't love this conversation?
Why?
There's a couple of whitewashed people on a podcast talking about how stressful it is to post a vlog.
No.
That's not why I said. Fucking tear gas. I had to get shot with a rubber bullet.
Facts.
I had to undergo the discrimination of a black person my whole entire life. So all we're saying is that like we're here for you. We're here for you, and it's all we give a fuck about right now.
Facts, but I'm not impervious to stress while not being black
So
or
that's
involved.
a-
I'm fucking stressed about all this, as you could tell by me blowing my fucking head off on this podcast today. I'm very stressed. I'm not black. I haven't been shot, but I'm not. No, I got it. But I also don't.
You know, like, bro, anytime I can take away ammunition from the haters, please,
For sure.
please let me do
For
so.
sure.
And like, someone's gonna clip that and be like, it must be so hard to not have to post.
Yeah, but fuck those people though. Fuck those people. Like, yo, you want to say that? Like, fuck you. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro.
You probably learned something.
Wife of accused Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin says in divorce filing she wants to change her name. Damn, you going to jail with no wife.
She divorced him, right? She divorced him after this and said that she stood with all of the attention that he's been given in a negative way. Shout out to that lady.
Wow.
You are if I was single, man, I would take you out on a date, lady. I really would.
I was wondering, you guys have any intents on doing any sort of donations or putting any sort of links into the descriptions?
That's
or
a great
anything?
question, and I'm glad you brought it up. Full transparency, I have not identified which links will actually cause action. I see, bro. You know how many fucking influencers are like, here are links you can read.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to put in the description the most accurate, tasteful, effective links you can donate, you can read, you can educate. But like, I'm not going to post 5 and expect you to read all. That's what everyone's doing.
We have
fuck off. Fuck off.
It's funny
You're
you
part of
said-
the problem.
It's funny you said that. I got a vetted list from a community activator, and all of them serve a great purpose. I said, which one?
That's what I'm saying.
Which one?
Yo, influencers stop
They
posting
sent me a
5,
list
6,
of
7
50.
and just throwing your fandom nowhere because no one clicks anything. Like
He said George Floyd
let's be
Memorial.
strategic, not just so you look good on social media. Stop reposting things to get involved. Educate yourself. I've not gotten off my fucking phone for the past 3 days.
Same.
Because this is all I care about. I literally can't think of anything else.
It doesn't have to be today or tomorrow that you come up with that answer, by the way.
I'm sweating. I don't like Killer Mike said, I wish we weren't here, but we are. And it's not going to be easy work to fix this system, but it is necessary work. And if you cannot get on board with that, you're going
to get run over.
You're part of the problem. You're part of the
facts.
Inactivity is not a solution. You need to become active. in pushing this agenda of equality. I think that's it.
Let's find some peace,
Final-
guys. Let's keep the conversation going, though. I think it's important that it doesn't die out after the first week of.
So this is me telling you now here on holy shit, it's June 1st, that I will be extremely vocal about voting, about enacting change in effective ways politically, whereas in the past I haven't. I'm telling you now, if you are listening to this show, I need you to register to vote and then vote. I will do it. Everyone in this room will do it. In the past, it doesn't affect me. Now it does. Now it fucking does.
That was a huge ending point. If you're listening to this, like I said earlier, gearing up for another round, please go home. Please think of the next steps. Figure out how you're going to strategize and make this work. There is only violence from here on out. We have seen that people intend to use the full force of the U.S. military to push down these protests. Let's put together a smart winning strategy and make it work. And also, just a quick message to any buddy who's watching this that's like, well, I'm racist and I'm proud of it, or I don't understand what the big privilege, or there is no white privilege out there. Fuck you. Like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, you racist fuck, dude.
Fuck you so hard. I don't want you watching another vlog of mine. I don't want you listening to another podcast. Don't buy any of my clothing. Don't interact with me or my friends. Fuck off.
But also get better, please.
Yeah, please.
But also get better. Like, figure it out.
No, not fuck you. Fix you. Fix
Fix
yourself.
you. Fix
Come
you.
back.
Fix you.
Fix you.
Water puts out fires, guys. Water puts out
Facts.
fires.
We might have dropped the ball.
That's
now.
yeah. All right, thanks for listening to this episode of Impulsive. Hope you took something out of it. Links
are coming. They don't have to come today.
No,
but
they'll be in the
they'll be in
description,
there.
but I'm gonna make it something that is actually helpful instead of just posting 7 and doing my part, helping you read 1. Fuck you, influencers that are doing that.
Stay safe.
Yeah, bye.